Hello, gorgeous. Today we are looking into some morning sacred feminine self-care practices that you can do to help you feel nourished and connected to your body, your sensuality, and to really live from that space of pleasure. My name is Jessica Angeleri, and my whole work is in devotion to the sacred feminine and guiding women back into their bodies to feel into their innate sensual nature. So then women can start thriving and walk into relationships knowing their worth. And when we connect to this infinite wisdom through the body, we start to feel nourished and we start to flourish in this world. And we can do this through feminine self practices. And the reason why we need to do this is because this world was not designed for you to thrive. Now, feel into that. This world is not designed for you to thrive. It's not designed to ensure that you feel sensual and connected to your intuition and even trust your intuition. It's not designed for you to even trust yourself and trust the feminine, because the feminine is unknown and she works not in the same way that the mind does. She's chaos and she can only be felt into through the feeling body. And this is the harsh truth. And it's not, I'm not saying this as a way to make you feel bad or to make you feel angry about the world. But the thing is, it's up to us as women, it's up to us to take on this responsibility to feel into the bliss of life, to feel into our own vibrancy and beauty, and to know and access this great aliveness through our pleasure body. That is up to us. So imagine that you could ignite this vibrancy, this aliveness and enjoyment of being in the body and feeling safe to do that so that you can feel good. You deserve to feel good. And so you can feel this sweet joy and pleasure that is your birthright. And when you feel so good and you take these little steps in your life to create the world around you that feels good to you and that feels sensual to you, you start to commit to your own pleasure. You commit to that and you bring and you feel pleasure in your life, in and around your life. So it's important that we feel held and guided in spaces that help us feel alive. When you feel alive, you feel courageous, and then you feel confident, and then you feel on purpose. So right now, I just want to give you a few ideas about how you can start to connect with this love and this pleasure within you through feminine self-care practices. Because in order for you to be connected to your channel of love, which is infinite, you have to indulge yourself in daily feminine self-care practices. Now, I'm also not speaking about getting facials and massages and buying yourself lingerie, and all of these things are beautiful and I love them as well. But I'm speaking about feminine ritual and feminine, sacred feminine practices to start learning how to be in tune with your body's signals, with her sensations, and really feeling safe enough to be present with all of that. Because presence is the first step to realizing your highest potential and for listening to your womb's wisdom and your yoni's whispers of truth. And she will share with you your yeses in life and your no's in life. So presence is how you drop in and you start to feel safe to honor all that is there. There is no good or bad. Your potential, your grandest potential is your unique soul's expression in this world. And your soul, she lives, she's alive within your body. And she chose your body so she could be fully expressed through you. Therefore, it's essential to balance taking care of yourself, nourishing your temple, this beautiful temple of yours, all whilst making sure that you're tending to all the things that life asks for you. So, all the situations that can occur in your life, and whether you have 10 minutes in your day or a couple of hours for yourself in the evening, devoting yourself to the feminine consciousness, to the feminine essence within you, will help you understand what is your truth and what is not. What is the truth? What are the stories playing out in your life that have molded your identity and that maybe you're still holding on to, or maybe some of the limited ideas that continue to hold you back, right? Or that blur your vision in making decisions when it comes to relationships. So it's super important to be tapped in, to be dropped in. So, feminine self care practices and feminine rituals will help you to live in the space of pleasure. And that can be your driving force for your happiness, for your bliss, for ease in your life. So, I'm going to share some ways to integrate feminine self care practices and how you can also intertwine spirituality through that to feel more nourished, to feel more relaxed, to feel more present. The first thing is to really start planning your rejuvenating retreat at home. We often wait for a 1 week holiday, or a retreat, but the thing is the retreat is in your heart. And it's important that we know this and tune back into this and make time and space in your day to get into a nourishment practice. You have to do this for yourself. No one else will do this for you. And so often we ignore the body's signals to slow down and to feel nourished. We push through period pain. We push through pain during sex. We're moving through our days in this energy of force. And this is because we have not allowed ourselves to know ourselves. We haven't allowed ourselves to know our body, how she speaks to us. And we haven't done that through slowing down in nourishing practices. So it's important to carve out this space for yourself and make it a priority. You have to be the priority in your life, especially if you want someone else to make your relationship a priority, right? The nourishment and the priority has to start with you. So you have to clear out your schedule so that nothing can disrupt this time for yourself. You can call this retreat time or your nourishment time. And a lot of that is going to be dependent on what your life looks like as well. Okay. And this might mean as well, you might need to set boundaries. You might need to have a conversation with a loved one or someone in your household, roommate, beloved, whoever it is. You need to make space and have that conversation with your beloved and say, hey, I'm going into my nourishment time now. I'm going into my retreat time now. I'm going to turn off my phone. If there are any emergencies, of course, I'm here, but I'm just going to be in the bath or on the bed with myself for the next 10 minutes. If that's all you have, that's okay. If you have 30 minutes, that's amazing. And I recommend that if you can't do this every day, to carve out that 30 minutes, do it at least once a week. And when you are in this moment of retreat, turn off any distractions, any sensory output, so anything from the external, and just practice being with you. Practice being with your breath, being with your body, and that's all. And that may feel uncomfortable in the beginning if you haven't done that before. It may feel uncomfortable to just slow down your breath. Your mind will want to want to do all the things and will want to override this feeling of pleasure with guilt. But I invite you to get in the habit, commit yourself to doing this, and notice the very subtle shifts that happen. Now, the next thing I wanted to mention was to start waking up gently and sensually. Now, what do I mean by waking up sensually? One of the ways to set a positive mood for your day is to connect with your senses. I love talking about this, and this really is what sensuality is about. So, sensuality involves you slowing down and being with the aliveness, being with the senses. So, maybe that means taking some time when you wake up to ground yourself with some breathing. Maybe that means looking at the sunrise and just really taking that in. Connect with nature like that, or watch the birds and listen to them and how they interact with one another. If you wake up with coffee or tea, how can you connect with this through your senses? How can you feel the warmth between your hands when you hold your warm drink? Slowly sipping your drink and just swishing the tea or the coffee around in your mouth and just allowing the warmth to trickle down, melting, just imagining this becoming this sweet nectar that spreads through your body. You can take in the scent. In my circles, my ceremonies, we always bring in some sort of scent. So that might mean that I ask women to smell, really inhale the scent from the essential oils. So the idea of this is to this practice be sensual and nourishing. And in this way, we also step away from sexualizing sensuality. Instead, it becomes this beautiful moment of connection and intimacy with yourself. So begin your mornings slowly and slowly step into your energy, into the energy of flow. Take your time to get out of bed. Maybe that means you need to wake up 5 minutes earlier. I'm sure we can do that. Brush your hair slowly. Maybe that means washing your face, and let it be slow, let it be nourishing, let it be sensual, just really feeling the water. As you massage, maybe put some oil on your cream in the morning, sunscreen, whatever it is, let it be slow. And then you might be thinking right now, okay, that sounds delicious, it sounds wonderful, but I'm a busy mother, right? I have so much to do. But here is the truth. If we don't have at least 10 minutes for ourselves, then why are we even living, right? If we can't even fully immerse ourselves in this beautiful deliciousness of life through our body, what is the point of living? Why are we even living at all if we can't allow ourselves to just take 5 minutes, 10 minutes to just really enjoy a little pleasure in our life? That is our birthright. So this is not about doing extra things. It's just more about how can I invite in sensuality through the things that I'm probably already doing. You can also cleanse your body. And when you're in the shower or you're having a bath, you can use that time to connect with the water and just allow the water to wash away anything that no longer serves you. That's also a beautiful way to start your day fresh and to feel cleansed. And as you get ready and Start to dress up in a way that makes you feel lovely and beautiful. And that's also a beautiful and an important step, and one that I really encourage in my offerings and my programs with women. In Feminine Remembrance, we have a whole module devoted to beauty, because this is the way that we start to expand our perspective around beauty for ourselves and to see beauty in our lives. Now, the next point I wanted to mention or to encourage you to do is to create a nourishing feminine ritual or sacred morning practice. Now, this ties in with the other points that I mentioned, but by having a simple morning ritual, you begin your day from pleasure, as I've already mentioned. And we do that so then we don't start our day from quick mode. We already know we're going to go into a doing mode in our day-to-day life. That's life, right? So what if we carved out that time, that space in the morning, and we committed ourselves to beginning the day with some sort of devotional practice that gets you connected with pleasure and your womb space. And so in this way, you begin your day from your feminine essence of love and ease and flow, creativity, rather than getting right into the rush of things. So sacred morning practices are a foundational element to feeling well connected to yourself and leading your day from a space of connection and pleasure. We often think of pleasure as something outside of us. We think it is something that comes at us or comes to us at one point or another, and we seek it. We wait for it. We yearn for it, and we have moments of it, and then wonder, well, when will I have that another pleasurable moment again? I have to wait until my next holiday. But what I want to reflect to you is that pleasure is a commitment to finding pleasure in day-to-day moments. It's not waiting for the next retreat or the next holiday that you go on. Your pleasure can be found through your friendships, through your hug with your loved one, in feeling the wind on your skin or the sun, the warmth of the sun. It's in an embodied connection with your beloved. It's seen if you have children in the way that they play. It's in seeing the potential future that you want to create. So it's bringing that wondrous aliveness back into your spirit. You can only be in complete service to others, for your children, for your partner, for your business, when you are there for yourself and listening to when it is you do require that time of nourishment. And that's why if you do it every morning, you've already done it. So this is a practice of just being with yourself and allowing the softness to settle in. Nothing to do, nothing to learn, nothing to do other than just to come back into your body, being with yourself and enjoying this act of love that is there for you always. So it's all about developing this capacity to feel it all, the pain too, not just pleasure. When you're committed to staying in your body and being with each moment, you will find pleasure. And that happens through your commitment with practices, feminine practices, and we can do that in the morning. So some other morning rituals that you can do that I thought I'd quickly mention is, and these are things that I do myself. So everything that I share with you, I do to feel that sense of nourishment, to feel that sense of intimacy and connection, and back to that place before I go into my doing mode to show up for the other women who I work with, who work with me. I need to come back and ask myself, what do I need in this moment? What do I need today to feel good, to feel connected? So when I wake up, I cleanse my space. So you can do that. Use some incense and just clear out any energy from the day before and begin renewed. I do this every morning. And I do that with some beautiful feminine music as well. You can get into some free journaling. That means just getting all your thoughts down onto paper and just allow whatever moves through you, and it can surprise you as well. One that I always love is sensual movement. Inside feminine remembrance, come home to yourself. We not only immerse ourselves in pleasure practices like a yoni massage, but we also embody our sensuality through sacred, erotic movement. This is such a beautiful way to get in the body and allow your sacral chakra, your pelvic floor to feel activated, to feel cleansed, and to ultimately guide you through your day so you feel more alive and creative and connected. And it's also how this sensual movement, especially when you're focusing on your hips, is how we tap into our natural radiance and magnetism and turn on, as I mentioned our creative powers. The next one I wanted to mention was to start your day with gratitude. Gratitude is helpful to shift things that feel challenging and to help you bring in a new, fresh perspective into your being. Gratitude is the most simple and one of the most effective ways to move from negative mindset into a positive one, or into a different perspective, to notice the blessings that are here right now. I will actually drop the link below to one of my lovely gratitude journal prompts to help you start your day. And another sacred feminine ritual is the breast massage. I've done a video all about this, and this is a beautiful, intimate way, a sacred way to really connect with your heart. So I will drop the link for that as well. And this doesn't have to be complicated. This is something that I do teach in my program, and it's probably one of my favorite practices of all to help start the day from this space of love and heart connection rather than from all my thoughts. Your life will never be the same after this beautiful, magical heart massage practice. I'd love for you to check out that video that I did about that. The last feminine sacred practice that you can integrate in your daily life, especially in the morning, is to really connect with nature. So that might mean to go and buy yourself some flowers. Maybe it means inhaling your essential oil. It might mean that you might give thanks to some flowers or herbs that you use in your tea. Just any way that helps you to feel connected to Mother Earth. And when we're connected to Mother Earth, we also come closer to the beautiful Earth, Mother Earth, through our bodies as well, because we are connected after all. So I hope this gave you some lovely insights in how you can start integrating practices to allow you to feel yourself. So you can start your day from the space of your feeling body. And in this way, when you do go into your sacred masculine energy, which is about doing and direction, getting things done, and at the same time, he's also the form, he's also the body. So you're also doing this to be able to hold any emotions that you move throughout your day. You do this, you engage with these beautiful feminine practices in the morning, so then you don't go into your day feeling scattered or desperate or feeling exhausted because you've already honored your heart and body. Now, that's not to say that you're not going to feel scattered or maybe exhausted and on some days. It's okay to sometimes feel like that, but it's also not your default, right? And instead, we want to come into our days, walk through our days feeling centered and present and connected to the wisdom through your feeling body. And remember, I have a free 7-day program, Erotic Feminine Embodiment. And these are filled with sensual practices for you to begin this journey of feeling nourished and connected and just overall embracing yourself in this sense of slowness. Thank you so much, beautiful. This takes commitment, it takes work. I'm always here for you. Let me know how this landed for you. So, if you do desire to make a life filled with pleasure through your commitment, this is what I'm here for. I love to guide and hold space for women to do this exactly. And that's why I created the 10-week group program, Feminine Remembrance, Come Home to Yourself. All right, my beautiful, gorgeous goddess, I will leave you there and let me know how this really landed for you. What are you going to start? What do you feel like you want to start bringing into your daily life? Maybe one practice. Which one really stood out for you? Let me know in the comments and I will see you next week, beautiful. My name is Jessica Angelari. If you liked this video, make sure to like, and if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe. Thank you so much. All my love and pleasure to you. Mwah.